When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink with the juice. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink the juice. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink of the juice. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink of the juice. Ooh. Drink of the juice. Back in the flow, I'll put on my mute. Back on my gritty, I'm back on my tunes. Back on my grip, I'm back on my screw. Back on my aim, I'm back on my shoots. When I go flow, I'm hitting it poof. Hitting the flow, I'm hitting the scoops. No danger, bulletproof. Back on the gritty, I'm back on the tunes. I'm back in the flow, raising the boost. Cruise control, ultra the boost. I'm back on my gritty, I'm back on my tunes. Foot on the gas, we going in through. Big, do it, tooted and booted. The bad be hitting, going on Zoom. 52 weeks, I got the glue. When I go flow, I'm zooming it boost. Hitting my flows, my flow is on top. Back on my gritty, I'm flowing on top. Back in the wave, I'm rolling on top. Back with the heat, diving and drop. When I go flow, I'm loading on up. When I go flow off, back on my gritty, I stick it up. When I go going on touch, flow is on top. Back in the wave, back in the gritty, I'm back on the graves. Back in the flows, I'm back on the wave. Back in the flows, I'm back in the aim. Flight mode, hype mode. Back on the wings. The top of the screen. We back on the page. The flow is on top mode. Back on my gritty, I stick it up. When I go clock off, back on my flows on top, I lock up. Destroy mode, tsunami, I wash off. When I go flow, I gritty, I lock up. Back on my time, my topped up. The flow is on gritty, I stick it up. When I go flow, popping, I pop up. Back on my flame, my flows up. Back at the top mode. Back in the gritty, I lock codes. When I go flow, I rock flows. Back in the gritty, I top zone. Stock growth, yellow, red. On that, go. Top it up flows, back on my flows, I'm top in the mode. Back on the flows, I'm rocking the code. Back in the gritty, I'm back in the flow. Back in the gritty, I top it up. Back in the range, you know we locking up go. Back in the grain, back in the flame, y'all know I'm hitting the mode. The top of the stairs, back in the gears. Back in the flow, no fear. Back on the steer, I'm hitting them gears. Back in the flows, I'm ripping the fear. I'm back on the flows on top. Back on my gritty, I load on top. Back in the wave, I flow on top. Back in the gritty, I top off. Back in the range, I lock up. Back it up when I go topped up. Back in the flow with the topped up. Entwine, I chop up. I rock up. The flow is at top of the topped up. When I go gritty, my flow is on lock up. Back on my flows, I chop it, I rock up. Back in the range up. Back in the flame up. When I go wave up. When I go flow, I top it, I blaze up. When I go hit him, you know I'll rave up. Back in the flow, you know I blaze up. Gotta go aim up. Wave up, raid up, blade up, blade up. Flow is a ticket up. When I go flame up. Back in the gritty, I stick it, a wave up. I'm back in the time, I'm back in the line. Y'all know I'm ripping the signs. I'm back in the flow and I'm ripping design. Ice in the cakes, bordering design. Y'all know I'm ripping the glide. I top it up, flame on top. Back in the gritty, I blaze on top. Back in the flow, I wave on top. Back in the range, I grade on top. Y'all know, gotta wave on top. Back in the flow, I wave off. Back in my grit, gotta go flame off. Back on my stick, gotta go flow, I'm so legit. Back in the flow, I'm reciting the scripts. Fill up the tank, dodging the hits. No days off, I'm going on shift. Back in the flow, I'm ripping the cliff. Mount. I'm high on top. Everest mountain, rise on top. Back in the flow, I fly on top. Back in the range up, top of the flame up. Back in the gritty, I blaze up. Back on my sticks up when I go wave up. Back in the flows, you know I aim up. When I go flow, gotta go wave up. Back in the blaze, y'all know I aim up. Back in the race, y'all know I flame up, wave up. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink the juice. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink the juice. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, drink of the juice. When I flow, I'm hitting the boost. Back in the flow, I'm hitting the tunes. Vitamin C, fresh.